Hi everyone, my name is Gemma and I'm part of the logistics team here at Camp Canada. Today I'll be walking you through everything you need to know to ensure your journey to Canada is smooth, successful and hopefully stress-free. Okay, so what do you need to know before you leave for Canada? There are a few important things to get sorted. First of all, documents. You'll need your passport, a physical copy of your police check from the last 6 months, and all documents from the download section of your Camp Canada profile. Please also don't forget your ETA. It's linked electronically to your passport, but we do recommend printing the receipt and bringing it with you just in case. Make sure all these documents are in your hand luggage, not your checked bags, as you'll need them at immigration when you land in Canada. Baggage claim happens after immigration, so you won't be able to grab them if you've packed them away. It's also a good idea to save your camp's contact details and our emergency line number on your phone. If you have a connecting flight in Canada, you'll need to go through the immigration process to obtain your work permit in your first port of entry into Canada and before you board your next flight. We recommend having at least 3 to 4 hours in between your flights to go through immigration, as wait times can be unpredictable. If you're worried about the time in between your flights, we recommend reaching out to your airline to discuss your situation. If you're stuck or concerned, please email us at logistics@campcanada.ca. Once you've landed in Canada, here's what to do. Line up at immigration to apply for your work permit. Immigration is open 24 hours a day, so you can go through no matter what your arrival time is. You'll need to hand over all your required documents. If you're looking to stay a little bit longer in Canada after camp finishes, you can ask the immigration officer to extend your work permit to your desired date. It's then completely up to the immigration officer's discretion whether they grant this or not. If there are any application fees to pay, you'll need to pay them then and there. And then if this is your first time in Canada or you haven't had your biometrics taken before, you'll be directed to get them done, and this will cost $85. Just to continue, a few more details to note. Do not leave the airport without your work permit. Again, if you have a connecting flight, you still need to go through the immigration process before boarding your next flight. We've also seen situations where border control agents have said to Camp Canada participants that they do not require a work permit and have ushered them through. This is incorrect. You need to go through immigration and get your work permit. Once you have your work permit, you can then apply for your social insurance number or your SIN, and I'll talk about that a little bit later on in the presentation. And then please make sure to triple check your work permit details. Here's an example of what your work permit should look like. Before you walk away, double check every single detail. If there's a mistake, immigration can print a corrected version on the spot, which is much easier than fixing it later. Mistakes on your work permit could delay getting your SIN, and that affects how and when you get paid by camp. Now moving on to our emergency line. The emergency line is for urgent issues only. You should have received a guide that explains when to use it. If you haven't read that yet, please do so before you fly out. You can find it on our knowledge base and as well as in emails you have previously been sent. For all non-urgent matters, you can email communitysuccess@campcanada.ca. Also, just as a reminder, you are legally an adult and therefore we cannot speak to any parent or guardian unless we have your written consent. So if you'd like to give us that, please email the address above. Perfect, now let's talk about onward travel to camp. Before leaving for Canada, you should have had direct contact with your camp to confirm how and when you'll be getting to camp once you've landed. If you have not had the communication with your camp, please make sure to contact them so they can provide you with these details. If you need to stay a night somewhere, please make sure your accommodation is booked in advance. A lot of places only accept credit cards for deposits, so check directly with your accommodation on how to pay before you get there. Now moving on to your social insurance number or your SIN. You will need a SIN to get paid by camp, and you can only apply for one once you're in Canada and have your work permit. You can apply at a Service Canada booth at the airport. This way you get your SIN immediately and not have to worry about it for the rest of the summer. Or you can apply online. If you apply online, wait 2 or 3 days before you attempt the application and read through the full instructions on your Camp Canada profile homepage under Social Insurance Number Application Guide. When it comes to getting paid at camp, most camps pay by direct deposit, but it's important to check with them directly how you will be paid so you can prepare. If your camp pays by check, you'll need to open a Canadian bank account. Some good options for newcomers include CIBC, RBC, TD, BMO, and Scotiabank. You can go into the bank to open an account or open one online. If your camp pays by direct deposit, we recommend signing up for a WISE account. which I'll talk more about on the next slide. Unfortunately, you can't use digital bank accounts such as Monzo or Revolut. The bank account must be able to provide you with Canadian direct deposit details. And finally, your phone. Before you fly out, we recommend checking with your current mobile provider to see if they offer any international plans for Canada. But if not, don't worry. Another great solution is getting a Canadian SIM or eSIM. eSIMs are getting progressively more popular as you can set them up online in advance and then they're ready to activate as soon as you arrive. With an eSIM as well, you'll get fast 4G or 5G internet, international calls, and you'll avoid expensive roaming charges. It's also a great peace of mind in case of emergencies or if you need to reach friends or camp staff on your days off. This year, we've partnered with Phonebox to make things even easier for you. So all you need to do is scan the QR code on the screen to create an account and get started. This brings us to the end. Thank you so much for listening. We understand that that's a lot of information to take in, but please know that we're here to support you in any way we can. If you have any questions, no matter how big or small, please don't hesitate to ask, and we'll be happy to clarify anything you need. Thanks again, and I hope you have an amazing summer.